So dear Mayor and dear Matthias, dear participants, I'm really delighted from my side as well to be here to you today, although virtually, to open the symposium on navigating transitions. And I would also from my side like to thank the Mayor for hosting this important symposium in Tirana, of course, very symbolically being the European Youth Capital for 2022, but at the same time during the European Year of Youth 2022. Big thanks for that. This EU Council of Europe Youth Partnership Symposium, I would say it is really a key contribution to the European Year of Youth. We do a lot of activities, but this symposium I wish will bring a lot of insights and evidence and take the work forward in also making sure that the European Year of Youth is not only a year in 2022, but will continue beyond 2022, that almost all years become years of youth. So we have a really, we are grateful that you can host it and that everybody is there, and that I see the program is full of important occasions to provide this input. As you have mentioned, both Matthias and Clotilde, obviously the COVID-19 pandemic had a major impact and have particularly hit very hard young people. We've seen it now more and more in studies and research that become visible. We see it has negatively affected what was perhaps the most immediate, the economic and the social situation of many young people. More and more now, unfortunately, we see studies that it has had a difficult toll on mental health and well-being on young people. And we see that it has had a big impact also on the broader youth civil society sector. We see also, we did not so long ago a Eurobarometer on youth, and we could also see that there are high expectations now from young people to try to overcome and do the best of the situation that we are in. So there are high expectations from policymakers to act and support young people's personal and professional development. So again, the topic, your program today and the topic that you will discuss will be really instrumental to contribute to this evidence-based research and an understanding of how we can go forward, knowing the situation has been hard for young people. What we try to do with the European Year of Youth 22 is to provide opportunities and visibility on how young people can take in charge of your lives and be given more and better opportunities in the current situation. When President von der Leyen announced that 2022 would be a European Year of Youth, she said that Europe needs all its young people. So this is a way to also boost the support for the young generation at a moment where young people most needs such a support. So the aim of the European Year is, on the one hand, to raise awareness of what the European Union does for young people, but also make sure that young people can be part and facilitate the big challenges that we are all facing. For example, now the green and digital transitions, major transformations of our societies. But also provide access, better access to opportunities and support. And I should say the European Year of Youth is a lot about collaboration and co-creation. It has been created and is implemented jointly together with the young people, with youth stakeholders, youth organizations, of course also with member states where there are now national coordinators, other EU institutions, and of course with our international partners, in particular Council of Europe. But I should say the European Year of Youth is broader than the EU. The European Year of Youth goes beyond that and certainly covers the Western Balkan countries. It's a common endeavor here, and with an impressive mobilization all over the EU and also beyond, as illustrated today. Since the beginning of the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine, it has become even more important, we see, to mobilize the EU's young people, also during the year's activities. So we have readapted a bit the year's planning. We are showing and giving more opportunities now to show solidarity with Ukraine, and we highlight much more the importance of European values, such as unity, peace, democracy, or the rule of law. And we see a lot of mobilization of young people for this purpose. And I'm really happy to hear that you will also have young Ukrainians here at the symposium today. So now, in the context of the European Year of Youth, it's really important to listen and engage with young people. That's absolutely crucial for the success of the year, and I would say also for the future of the European project. But listening is not enough. We also know that action is needed, and action is expected from young people. Again, our recent Eurobarometer actually showed quite clearly where young people have strong expectations, and this ranges from everything from climate change, education, learning mobility, mental health and well-being, but also inclusion, and make sure that we can tackle inequalities. So adapting youth policy now to young people's changing reality is indeed a priority, and a very timely moment that this symposium will discuss this topic. And we have to acknowledge that despite the disruptive impact of the pandemic, we can be a bit reassured because we have some good tools on the table at EU level that is capable of responding to some of these expectations. I'm thinking here on the one side of the EU Youth Strategy. It's covering the period of 2021 to 27. It has shown that it provides a strong and impactful roadmap. It can foster cooperation, and it can support youth policies both at EU level and at national level. Now, we know that the youth sector really need concrete instruments to make all this happen, and we have been able to develop in recent years and reinforce some of our instruments. I'm thinking here of, for example, the EU Youth Dialogue, and even more recently, when we had the new multi-annual financial framework, we have very strong key European youth programs that will help to provide new opportunities for young people, but also to implement the EU Youth Strategy. And I'm thinking here of Erasmus Plus and the European Solidarity Corps, with a much bigger envelope in terms of budgets and more new diverse opportunities. Now, with the European Year of Youth, we have stepped up our efforts to reinforce also the cross-sectorial dimension and the cross-sectorial cooperation. It's certainly inside the Commission, but also this is a message that we give for the whole year. So this is something we hope that the year will also help with giving a legacy about. As an example, we have launched from the EU side several flagship initiatives, and you will see that they cover at least 8 policy areas, ranging from European learning mobility and education, employment and inclusion, policy, dialogues and participation, green, digital, also culture, health, well-being and sports, and youth and the world. So the list is long, but it really illustrates the importance that youth policy is relevant for many policy areas. And actually, I invite you to look at this a bit further at the European Youth Portal. You will see that our policy initiatives, these flagships, are there. And of course, my message to you today is please continue to take part actively in the year and make the best out of it, like you do today. And I'm very much looking forward to the outcomes of your discussions, in particular now on how to strengthen inclusion and how to strengthen the outreach to young people with fewer opportunities. And I think this will be really an important contribution to the reflection on the legacy of the European Year of Youth and the way forward. So that's what I wanted to share with you in the opening. All the best for today, and my best wishes from a very sunny Brussels today.